Overnight, the FBI and Justice Department releasing 11 hours of footage they say helps confirm notorious financier Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in his Manhattan jail cell in 2019, awaiting his sex trafficking trial. But perhaps the biggest bombshell, investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
Where's the Epstein list? We was promised an Epstein list. Where's our Epstein list? What's this an indication of? Is it an indication, let me know in the comments and chat what you think, that when it comes to it, there are layers of power, realms of power, inaccessible even to purportedly the most powerful people on Earth. Where's the list?
Now to the breaking news overnight about the Jeffrey Epstein files and the conspiracy theories officially being rejected. Overnight, the FBI and Justice Department releasing 11 hours of footage they say helps confirm notorious financier Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in his Manhattan jail cell in 2019, awaiting his sex trafficking trial. According to a memo detailing the findings, investigators found the video showed no one entering the area in the overnight hours before Epstein was found unresponsive. But perhaps the biggest bombshell, investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
Ironically, it seems that the blackmail is continuing. I imagine whatever powers existed and coalesced around Jeffrey Epstein, where's that power gone now? Put it in a more localized scale. If Hollywood for years ran on paedophilia and the casting couch and sexual energy and exploitation, do you think that stopped when Harvey Weinstein went to jail? Did it stop that day? Or say, look at the Diddy trials. Diddy's been mostly exonerated, hasn't he? Mostly acquitted, found guilty of a couple of things. If Diddy was doing anything, and in the court of law it's been proven that he wasn't, right? If he was involved in salacious parties that were hedonic and decadent and full of false idolatry and baby lube, do you think it stopped with Diddy? Like, that's the fact of the matter. That's what institutional systemic corruption means. It runs deep. You can't solve it with one individual. Even if it's a very robust and somewhat magnificent individual like Donald Trump. What does this surveillance footage prove, really? That, what, my God, like, I mean, I've seen footage of, like, Elon Musk and Donald Trump making out now. There's no footage that we can rely on as credible anymore, is there? Let me know what you think about that in the comments and chat. Can you ever trust anything you see online again? Can there ever be a reliance on centralized authority and power again? The answer is a clear and simple one in this rhetorical discourse that I'm conducting with myself. No, you can't. This is who you can trust. People you can see with your eyes. Food that you've grown yourself. Things you've prepared with your own hands. A family that you protect with your own firearm. Dissolve power wherever possible. There are occultist interests at work in the world, and those occultist interests aren't going to go, oh, guess what? Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, he was working for Mossad or the CIA or acronyms so deep and esoteric that we don't even know them. If they can kill JFK, if they can bring down the Twin Towers, if they can fake moon landings, there's no telling what they can do. Let me know in the comments and chat which ones of those you think are conspiracy theories and which ones are conspiracy facts, because one thing that's a conspiracy fact now is you ain't getting the Epstein list.
For years, Epstein has been at the center of conspiracies surrounding both his death and a rumored client list allegedly used to blackmail powerful men. Attorney General Pam Bondi, back in February, was asked if the Justice Department intended to release a list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients, Bondi saying this.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive.
It was on the desk. There were thousands of hours of footage of Epstein watching child porn. Wasn't there? That's what we heard. He was watching it. He was rubbing his hands with glee. What's going on, guys?
By President Trump, I'm reviewing that.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Here's Elon. What's the time? Oh, look, no one's been arrested. O'clock again. There's Elon's response to that. And let's have a look at Elon back in 24 saying if Trump wins, you're going to get the Epstein list. What I want to know is how do you reconcile if you are like Trump forever? And I can understand why you would be. He's charming, charismatic, brilliant. He's funny, all of those things. Okay, I understand it. I live in your country. I respect and love your country. How do you reconcile the version of MAGA populism you were offered prior to election with what you are currently experiencing?
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Okay. So let's have a look at this, Pam Bondi.
James Comer said yesterday that all the Epstein files are missing. Can you confirm the status of them? I still haven't heard from you.
No, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him later and find out.
This Ghislaine Maxwell post is somewhat telling. DOJ and FBI have concluded there is no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, was murdered per memo. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for trafficking underage girls to no one. That is interesting. Yes, what's Ghislaine Maxwell in jail for if no one got trafficked, if there's no one on that list, if there's no one in the corridors of political power in DC or Westminster thinking and saying, oh my God, keep that thing quiet. Here's PBD, shocking. The DOJ and FBI have officially determined there's no proof Epstein was murdered. They didn't maintain a list of clients, nor did he blackmail high-profile individuals. This is a terrible look on the FBI and DOJ. No one believes this. Not his haters, not his supporters, not his diehard supporters, not even Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's see what Tim Paul, Rumble content creator, says. Based on the latest development from the DOJ, the Epstein client list is now complete. 1, Prince Andrew. That's it. So what I'm starting to sense is that as you get near real power, the risks increase. That's what I believe. A lot of people believe that Diddy may have been able to cut some kind of deal to just keep his mouth shut and not say who was at those parties that may have been embarrassed. You guys look at the same media we look at. You see the kind of things that are said on X. You know the kind of people that are likely on the Epstein list. And Michael Tracy says, the Epstein files functioned as a convenient proxy to rev up certain overly online, impressionable, hazily conspiratorial demographic into voting Republican and thinking they were defeating the dark, powerful forces of hidden establishment depravity by doing so. Clever. Are those forces still at work? Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. This is a flashback to Trump's lawyer and acting New Jersey U.S. Attorney Alina Habba discussing Epstein on Piers Morgan.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Flight logs?
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking.
Where is it? Where's the shocking revelations?
That there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway, we don't take it home. And I really believe that now with Cash and Pam, there will be accountability.
Cash and Pam, give us the accountability. Okay, well, that's pretty interesting stuff. So let me know what you guys think in the comments and chat. Is the Epstein files and the refusal or the failure to release an Epstein list the canary in the cage in MAGA populism? Some people in the Rumble chat right now saying MAGA has only just begun. But isn't part of MAGA absolute transparency? Isn't it the revelation of the deep corruption of previous political establishment? Isn't it our right to know if Bill Clinton and Bill Gates, all the Bills, were going to a super fun Pinocchio island of paedophilia? Fun, horses, courses, strokes for folks. Let me know if you are disappointed. Let me know if it changes your perspective, or is it merely the revelation that when you're in a position of political power, you're introduced to levels of esotericism and occultism that can never be, by their nature, explicitly conveyed to the public. Otherwise, the entire systems in which you are a participant would collapse. And those systems go beyond military-industrial complex, big pharma, big food, and systems of mind control and manipulation practice that scale through centralized media and right into the heart of darkness. Let me know what you think about that on the comments and chat, baby. Thanks for watching the video. Have a look at this one over here, or join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on Rumble.